We had a guest earlier, Leonidas from ValueWorks, and as soon as he heard this breaking news, he was like, it's not going to happen. It's just too much money. What are you hearing?
It's a very understandable instinct, and I'm sure a lot of people are saying just that. And it may well not ever happen. I mean, look, it's a sizable deal. It would be the biggest leverage buyout in history, even if you factor in the fact that Stefano Pessina, the CEO of Walgreens, he has 16% of the company, presumably could roll that into any take private. It's still a monster deal, plus you have a fair amount of debt on it. So it could happen. There are parties that we know are interested in making it happen. It's whether or not they can actually get it over the line.
And let's just talk some of the numbers here. I mean, obviously, we say largest leveraged buyout. We do have, obviously, the billionaire CEO with, I think, about a 16% stake of the total. The stock well below its 2015 high. But what do we think about the valuation at this price? Does a go private make sense based on the numbers?
Well, look, as you say, it's well below its high. Stefano Pessina is a deals guy. He likes doing M&A, and I'm sure he's looking at the value of the company and saying the market aren't giving us fair value. You know, maybe it is time to look at an alternative way of running this, and going private is obviously an option. And we should note this company has been in private equity hands before. KKR obviously owned it, and they would be a reasonably logical partner here if someone were to show up. And I think you have to look at who could actually do this. There's not that many sponsors of the scale that could make a deal like this happen. I mean, you look at sort of 3G, the Brazilian firm, KKR, potentially a Blackstone, but then the list starts to get very thin in terms of who could actually execute a transaction like this.
How has the company been performing so far? We have seen some more news of cost management that has been a positive for Walgreens.
Yeah, they've been pretty good at actually trying to drive down the cost, but the whole industry has been under pressure. It's been a sector that we've seen a wave of consolidation over the last 3 or 4 years. A lot of the benefits of that have now been realized, and like everything else in healthcare, it's just been on the sort of downward because, you know, drug prices are under pressure, insurers are under pressure, and it sort of filters down to all the other bits of the sector.
Obviously, this news is out. We see the stock, reacting to that, being halted from volatility. And in terms of other options here, is there other pressure on this company and its executives to do something about the valuation?
I mean, look, there's always pressure on companies and their executives to do stuff about valuation, especially when they're below and a long way below, as you say, their all-time high. But I doubt Mr. Pessina is feeling like he needs to do something, like there's no external pressure on him to do a deal here. But as I say, he may be looking at this and thinking, this is my company, it feels cheap, maybe I can do something better with it in private hands.
What does that mean in terms of timeline then?
Well, we think these conversations have been going on for a little while with a few different parties. Very little color beyond that in terms of timeline. Look, this could move quite quickly. Obviously, now it's out there in the public domain. It may actually sort of accelerate things. Equally, it could be sort of weeks or months away.